again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, welcome to First Sports. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right on the show today, a terrorist outfit has threatened to kidnap foreigners in Pakistan travelling for the Champions Trophy. This comes right after the country, the hosts in fact, crashed out of the tournament. Has brand Pakistan cricket crashed with it too? With yet another disappointment at an ICC event, the Indian cricket team is facing criticism for getting preferential treatment ahead of the Champions Trophy. Commentators and opposition players as well have accused India of having an unfair advantage in the tournament. But is India really at fault here? And Jose Mourinho may throw tantrums and show dissent in the most unique way, with the crowd lapping it all up. But does it feel like he's crossed the line and gone a bit too far this time? Galatasaray club in Turkey are filing a criminal charge against Fenerbahce coach for racism. Details up ahead, but first, let's take a look at the headlines in Sports 360. We'll start with cricket. A cricket fan in Lahore was detained and allegedly beaten up by security personnel for waving India's flag. The incident occurred during the Australia versus England Champions Trophy game. In the video, which has now gone viral, officials can be seen dragging the fan and snatching the Indian flag. On to football. Neymar stole the show in Santos' 3-0 win over Inter de Limeira. The Brazilian forward was subjected to boos while taking the corner in the first half. Neymar silenced the opposition fans by scoring directly from the corner spot. This was Neymar's second goal in 6 matches for Santos this season. Manchester United has announced to cut down at least 150 jobs as part of a plan to return to profitability. At the same time, only players will receive free lunches while staff members will be offered soup and bread. The club hopes to save over $1.2 million annually through this. In tennis, men's world number 31 and defending champion Sebastian Baez won the Rio Open title. The 24-year-old beat Alexander Mueller in straight sets in the final. The Argentine also became the first player to defend his Rio Open win. Pakistan's Champions Trophy campaign ended after their horror show against India and New Zealand. Of course, Bangladesh's loss to New Zealand last night was just the final nail in the coffin, announcing their official exit. But given they now have just one job, that of running the tournament as smoothly as they can they really fulfill their hosting duties seamlessly? Apparently not. At least that's what the latest developments say. Various reports in top media outlets claim Pakistan's Intelligence Bureau, or the IB, has issued a warning regarding a terror threat. This has come from terror group Islamic State Khorasan Province, or the ISKP. The group is allegedly planning to kidnap foreign nationals attending the Champions Trophy for ransom. And it isn't just the tourists who are under threat. Reportedly, an alert has also been issued by Afghanistan's intelligence agency, or the GDI, of a possible attack from ISKP. This has put Pakistan forces on high alert. They have deployed protection teams at areas that are likely to be targeted. And while over 12,000 personnel were already in place for the mega event across different venues and, of course, the team hotels, security for the visiting countries has been amped up in Lahore, Karachi and Rawalpindi, the 3 host cities for the tournament. The statement from Pakistan Cricket Board, or the PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi, is indeed coming to be true. Naqvi, before the tournament began, claimed the Champions Trophy will be more than just cricket. And given the current situation, it indeed has become more of a hostile situation than a cricket tournament. Sure, Pakistan is doing everything they can, everything in their power to avoid a repeat of the horrid 2009 attacks on the Sri Lankan cricket contingent that was touring them. But the extra security has made this situation all the more intense for both tourists who are traveling to Pakistan at this time and, of course, the teams who are contesting in the tournament, nullifying the whole idea of an ICC event's return to the country after nearly 3 decades. Because this tournament was a chance for Pakistan to attract tourism, to show all was finally well. A moment to earn back the trust of the ICC and prove to be a worthy future candidate for hosting such events. But these security concerns are proving to be a bit of a dampener, making Pakistan a destination, a city which can host various countries, an untenable prospect. Clearly, the brand of Pakistan cricket is in danger. And this isn't just because of these terror threats or the security scenario in the country. Pakistan's image has taken a beating thanks to the crumbling cricketing structure in the country itself, something that has escalated after the team particularly lost to arch rivals India on Sunday. The players and the management are all facing the heat after yet another disastrous ICC campaign. Pakistan's interim coach, Aqib Javed, is likely to be released from all of his duties post the Champions Trophy once it concludes. And it isn't just the management who's facing the brunt of this poor performance and the poor showing. The brand of Pakistan cricket itself seems to be under threat. With a third consecutive failure at an ICC tournament in 3 successive years, Pakistan may even lose its sponsors. This is one of the reasons why prominent cricket voices who've led Pakistan to glory in the past compare their own current team now to lesser ranked sides such as USA and Oman.
Our average is even poorer than Oman and USA. In 14 teams who are playing ODIs, Pakistan's bowling average is second worst.
And Akram may have made the statement as a jibe here, but it does highlight a brutal reality because the same USA beat Pakistan in the T20 World Cup group stage match last year, a country that itself is trying to find its feet in the cricket world. A cricket-crazy nation, once a dominant force in the world of cricket, is now struggling. Even when security was a bit of a concern for Pakistan, the biggest reason that pushed ICC to bring cricket back to the country was this craze for the sport, the passion that fans there have for cricket, for their cricket team. A passion that's built on a legacy that some of the best in the world took decades to establish. But when the same fans fail to show up to watch their own side at a tournament opener, slam their team for pretty much a no-show, where is the cricket really heading to in Pakistan? A sport thrives on a few things: financial support, talent that is constantly groomed, infrastructure, and a vibrant fan base. Even if Pakistan has a decent infrastructure to develop the sport now, and they promise to produce the same level of talent continuously, where are the stars really? Where is the performance on the field? The growth of any sport in a country is directly proportionate to the success the team achieves on the global stage. And that's a gaping hole at this point for Pakistan. The brand of Pakistan cricket that was symbolized by the image of Imran Khan, captain of cornered Tigers, who learned to pounce, holding up that ICC World Cup trophy. That's where Pakistan's fighting spirit was truly reborn. That image is what gave birth to a belief the world over that Pakistan were world beaters. Is that brand languishing, much like their former captain, in jail? India has made it to the semi-finals of the ICC Champions Trophy, and seems like that's not gone down too well with cricket commentators and observers everywhere. Many voices, some legendary, have raised questions over the differential treatment India has received, which has given them the advantage in this ICC tournament. The murmurs, of course, began a few days ago with journalists and some observing the game crying foul over India being the only country to play every single match in one venue. The only country that's getting used to the conditions because they are playing all their matches in Dubai.
I feel very uncomfortable about the way that India is being treated at the moment. If you're going to play international tournaments, you can't pick and choose where you play and where you're not going to play.
The broadcaster says he feels uncomfortable with the treatment India is being given. He's calling the ICC out for their bias here and also pointing fingers at India for arm twisting their way through this. But now players have started speaking out too. Pat Cummins is not leading the Australian side for this one, but he did not shy away from saying what he truly felt.
I think it's good that the tournament can go on, but obviously it does give India a huge advantage playing on the same ground. They already look very strong. and they've got that obvious benefit of playing all their games there.
Again, his biggest objection is India has the advantage of being used to the same conditions that the final will be at, if of course they do make it.
They're playing at just one venue. Therefore, the selection, can focus in on the conditions in Dubai. That seems to me to be an undeniable advantage.
The teams will have to pick playing 11s for different conditions, and then they have to travel and adjust to those conditions. They sit happily and comfortably there. They know they are going to play 6 games there, and if they will win all those, they'll win another global tournament.
England's former cricketers Nasser Hussain and Michael Atherton, in a conversation on their podcast, discussed India's situation vis-a-vis the other countries participating. So what were their main objections? 1. India can easily pick sides given they are playing in a single venue. 2. They do not have to travel between countries or cities like the other teams are. 3. If they do reach the final, they would have been far more adapted to the conditions than their opposition on the day. So let's tackle these allegations or objections. A tournament like an ICC event almost always means getting used to different pitches and conditions. It happens at every tournament, including the 2023 ODI World Cup, which was across many cities in India, or the 2024 T20 World Cup, which was across 2 countries. Getting adjusted, or in fact many more cities as well. Getting adjusted or acclimatized to different conditions is mandatory as international cricketers. But let's look at the larger accusation here. India choosing where they will play and not playing in Pakistan or traveling between cities. And who's to blame there? Who's at fault for such a situation even occurring? The geopolitical tensions between India and Pakistan are high. Just yesterday, the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif made a statement taunting India and challenging them of showing growth more than India would in the years to come. Safe to say, Pakistan and India's relationship has always been fraught with unpredictability and danger. The main reason for this situation, a hybrid model to arise, is the fact that India simply cannot travel to Pakistan. No matter security being beefed up, no matter the promises being made and the assurances, because that's when something like this hits you. Pakistan's intelligence bureau, of course, reportedly issuing a warning about a potential terror threat from ISKP, Islamic State Khorasan Province, threatening to kidnap foreigners. This is the latest. Now, how can India possibly send their cricketers when such a scenario can be led to that? And we are, of course, talking about cricketers who are superstars, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, who had to travel with top security, even in a city like New York, when security threats came to light just before the clash against Pakistan. How can India trust nothing untoward would happen in Pakistan? Now, while there has been a certain decline in the casualties, that's what you think, terror attacks have not stopped in Pakistan. Now, of course, you think that the number of attacks would have been on a decline over the years, but it's just the opposite. The attacks have only increased, and with that, so have the casualties. Just last year, that number went beyond 2,000. How can India trust and send their cricketers when numbers tell you a different story? The ICC, the PCB and the BCCI know the situation cannot go on in this manner. But everyone, including the other cricket boards, are doubly aware that an ICC event without India would mean a failure in more ways than one. No spectators, no broadcasters, no sponsors and no monies. It's a disaster. This was the best solution to ensure a Champions Trophy at least happened. And where is this bias when there has been an understanding that the parties involved have arrived at, which also means Pakistan playing matches at neutral venue when India is the host for future ICC events? It's been a fair agreement that everyone has attested to, realizing what the situation is. How impossible it was for India to stay and play in Pakistan and what really was at stake. Yes, this isn't ideal, but maybe these objections could have been voiced long back, not when the Indian cricket team is looking good to possibly go all the way. So maybe a little too late for all these allegations. The best thing other teams can do is fight against the odds and prove that they are the best at doing what any international sporting side ought to anyway: get used to different conditions, play smart cricket and win against all odds. That would make for a more compelling story. Jose Mourinho's life and Turkey hasn't been quiet. The renowned manager has got into trouble ever since he joined the Turkish league, whether it was for criticizing the referees or questioning the standard of the league itself. Mourinho's temper has led to suspensions, penalties and severe backlash, but nothing beats a charge of racism. The Fenerbahce coach is likely to face criminal proceedings after Turkish club Galatasaray accused Mourinho of racist slur. The club claims Mourinho made racist statements following the 0-0 draw between the two sides in the Istanbul derby. Galatasaray hasn't clarified which comments they are exactly referring to, but it could be this statement Mourinho made after the game.
I have to thank the referee. After the big dive in the first minute, and their bench jumping like monkeys on the top of the kid. With a Turkish referee, you would have a yellow card after 1 minute, and after 5 minutes, I would have to change him.
Jose Mourinho was refereeing, of course, to an incident where Galatasaray players were crying foul. Now, ahead of this game, both the sides had demanded an international official, given the poor standards in the league already. So, with the decision finally going in Fenerbahce and Mourinho's favour, he wanted to thank the official for making the right call. But Mourinho, being who he is, he went an extra mile by calling the opposition players monkeys, and it did not stop there.
I went to the referee's dressing room after the game. Of course, the fourth official was there, a Turkish referee. I turned myself to the fourth official, and I said if you were a referee, this match would be a disaster.
So Mourinho did not stop after targeting the opposition players. He went after the Turkish referees too, prompting Galatasaray to launch a criminal investigation. Now, I understand Mourinho's frustration towards the refereeing standards in Turkey, but maybe he went a bit too far this time. Maybe we are all part of his charade and tantrums because he is emboldened by the leeway his fans give him. With Mourinho, there is always a tendency to push the envelope, and he's been pretty vocal about issues in this league in the past. Jose Mourinho put a laptop in front of the camera during a league game last year to show that the referee made a wrong call. Showman Mourinho at his best. He was even booked for it, but no derogatory comments were made. He boycotted a post-match press conference during a league game earlier this year after Galatasaray coach took an hour to finish his media briefing. Mourinho has always been more expressive than most, especially in expressing dissent. But this time, he possibly crossed the line. Mourinho arrived in the country with the expectations of taking not just his club, Fenerbahce, but Turkish football to great heights. Mourinho claimed he would leave Turkish football in a much better state than what it was when he would join it. Sure, he's made them more popular with his antics, but will the special one be given special treatment for his latest attacks? Time for last serve. What all can a Siberian Husky do apart from the usual guard duties? In Britain, it can win you a race. The British Siberian Husky Dog Championship wrapped up their season. What's some of the best moments from the event? That wraps it up here on Firstpost. I'll of course see you again tomorrow with fresh perspectives from the world of sports. Till then, do take care.
I have made the decision of a military operation.
Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly.
he better move fast or he's not going to have a country left.